Are you looking for a new action roguelike to play in 2023? Something to scratch that Hades itch? Well, you've come to the right place, because today I'm going to rank 10 of the top indie roguelikes to play in 2023 so far. Coming in at number 10, we have Rogue Spirit. Rogue Spirit is a 3D roguelike action game with light stealth elements. Play as the ghost of the Prince of the Kingdom, Midra. Possess enemy characters and absorb their unique skills to fight the evil presence that has corrupted your land. I played this game a few years ago when it came out to early access. My favorite mechanic in the game was the possession system, which lets you play through each run as different enemies in the game. I'm excited to see how many enemies they've added in the game since their early access debut. I recommend this game to anyone who's played a lot of roguelikes and wants to find a hidden gem that they may have never heard of. This game does not have a lot of reviews on Steam and it's not very popular, but that doesn't mean it's not very good. If you're looking for something new and fresh and different to play, I would definitely recommend checking this one out. At number 9, we have Mortal Sin. Mortal Sin is an intense action horror roguelike where you must hack and slash your way through an endless nightmare. I haven't checked this one out yet, but it gets my number 9 spot just because of the aesthetic of this game. This game looks badass. It gives me Dusk vibes mixed with horror dungeon crawler vibes. This game has fast-paced, first-person melee action combat, and just from the trailer and the screenshots on the Steam page, you can tell there's a ton of different weapons in this game to choose from, which is going to mix up the runs drastically. I would recommend this to anyone who likes Doom, and anyone who likes dungeon crawlers, and anyone who likes an old-school feel to their indie games. Number 8 on the list is a game similar to Vampire Survivors called Swarm Grinder. Swarm Grinder is a bullet heaven game with pixel art graphics. Battle enemies to make your way through a mass of spreading and evolving cells hosting dormant enemies. Collect a variety of game-changing skills and upgrades to create unique builds. I like to refer to these games as bullet heavens. I think it was Wanderbots who made up that term, and it really sticks. I chose to put this one on the list because I love bullet heavens. Even though there are tons of them out there right now, the quality of this one really stuck out to me. If you're into this sci-fi setting and you also like Vampire Survivors, I definitely think this is the game for you to check out. Number 7 on the list is OTXO. If you're like me and you love playing through Hotline Miami, you're going to really enjoy OTXO. OTXO takes place in an abstract mansion where you must rescue a loved one. In this fast-paced, brutal, and dark roguelike filled with precise but savage gunplay and time-bending slow motion, you're going to face your inner demons and unveil the secrets of the mansion. This game is badass, and if you guys want to see more about this game, I did a video about it earlier on the channel, so check that out if you're interested in the gameplay at all. It's a really good game. Coming in at number 6, we have a personal favorite of mine this year, Ravenbound. Ravenbound is an open-world action roguelike that will have you exploring a massive map, fighting Scandinavian lore-based enemies, and facing off against massive world bosses. This game received negative reviews on release, mostly due to the fact that it is difficult and the mana system is very confusing when you first start the game, but I can say from personal experience that once you get a better feel for the basic mechanics in this game, it becomes much more enjoyable. This game got a lot of hype before it came out, but I would consider it more of a hidden gem now because of the negative reviews and the negative attention it got when it first released. So if you're looking for a fast-paced action third-person combat game and you're a fan of the Skyrim aesthetic, I think you'll feel right at home here and you'll definitely recognize the value of this hidden gem. At number 5 is Spiritfall. Spiritfall is a fast-paced action roguelite with combat inspired by platform fighters. Slash, smash, launch, and wall splat a multitude of enemies using an ever-changing arsenal of divine powers. Unfortunately, I haven't had the chance to test this game out myself, but I've been told it's like Super Smash Bros. And Rivals of Aether had a roguelike baby, and it has very positive reviews on Steam. That alone is enough for me to put it at my number 5 spot, because I love Super Smash Bros. And a Super Smash Bros. Roguelike just seems like it would hit the spot for me. Crab Champions is coming in at number 4 on the list. Claw your way through exotic lands, combining fluid movement with fast-paced combat to become a crab champion in this third-person shooter with roguelike elements. Think of Risk of Rain 2, but you're a crab. I know it sounds kind of silly, but the game's actually really good. There are different weapons, grenades, and abilities in this game, which keeps each run fresh and exciting, and there's a lot of ways to manipulate your stats to become super overpowered or super weak depending on what kind of run you have. This is also a great roguelike to play with friends as well. It's up to 4 players, and the enemies scale based on how many players are in the game. So the game's always going to be challenging no matter how many players you have in the game. And of course, if you're playing with 4 players, you know there's always going to be that one person who's the dead weight on the team, which is going to make this game so much harder. I would recommend this game to anyone who likes shooters and who likes playing with friends, and anyone who's into Risk of Rain 2. I think you'll feel right at home if you're a big Risk of Rain 2 fan. Coming in at number 3 on our list, we have Neon Echo. Neon Echo is a 3D side-scrolling action roguelike game with an anime and techwear style. In a world that has been corrupted by noise, electronic music has become the only means to resist the power of strepification. This game has fast and fluid combat, and even though it's in early access, the game looks and feels very polished. There's a rhythm element to the combat in this game, so be prepared to get lost in the music during each run. I would recommend this game to anyone who likes the Dead Cells style of combat, but at a little faster pace, and also if you're into rhythm games and electronic music, this seems like right up your alley. Number 2 on the list is Have a Nice Death. Have a Nice Death is a 2D action roguelike where you play as an overworked death, whose employees have run rampant, completely throwing off the balance of souls and his vacation plans. In order to restore order, you have to grab your trusty scythe and show your employees who's boss. I played Have a Nice Death when it came out in early access, and the combat felt extremely smooth and polished. Each boss has their own unique mechanics, and the art style is fantastic. I highly recommend checking out Have a Nice Death if you're into Dead Cells style combat and gameplay.
A shadow falls over the land of reverie.
The number 1 spot on the list for me has to go to Ravenswatch. Even though the game is still in early access and there's only 1 boss currently in the game, it still gets my number 1 spot. I had a ton of fun with this game. Each character has their own unique playstyle and skills, and at first some characters feel weaker than others, but once you master each character, you can really see how broken they become depending on what you get in each run. This is a great game to play with friends. Each character synergizes very well with one another, and it leads to interesting team comps you can make even with 2 friends playing together. It's up to 4 players total. I've only played with 2 players, so 4-player mode seems like it would be an incredibly fun time if you can get 4 friends who also like roguelikes. I would definitely recommend this game to people who enjoy games like Diablo or Torchlight or even League of Legends. This game is made by the same developers as Curse of the Dead Gods, which was another great action roguelike. So even though you're getting this one in early access, you know the developers know exactly what they're doing and they know how to make a roguelike great. I hope you guys enjoyed the list. I tried to list some roguelikes that I thought were good but aren't getting any attention, and also some roguelikes that popped off in early 2023. Obviously, this list is very subjective, and many people have their own opinion of their favorite roguelike of the year so far, so tell me your favorite roguelikes of 2023 so far in the comments. If you guys liked this, leave a like, and comment if you want to talk more about roguelikes and roguelites. I love talking about them, and I love playing them. Thank you guys for watching.